What's good, man? Look here. What's up, y'all? What's up, man? We back at it, man. Um, this morning, man, I'm gonna be replacing the brake pad wear sensors on my 2017 Range Rover. And I'm gonna show you guys how to do it, man. So watch. So let me focus my camera in here so you guys can get a better look at what we're doing here. Um, Tilt this thing down just a little bit. All right. So this cable right here is what is called the brake pad wear sensor. And what it does, it sends a signal to your dashboard to let you know when your brake pads are worn down and they need to be changed. But I recently changed the rotors and the brake pads on the Rover, and I did not change the wear sensor. So it is recommended that when you change your brake pads or your rotors, or when you do a brake job, you should change out this brake pad wear sensor. I had to order one, of course. Buying one from the dealership was about $200 and something, right? But I got one on I think eBay for about $18. But I had to wait about a week to get it in. So I would have gotten that done when I was changing the pads, but unfortunately I didn't have it. So now I'm just coming back to the job and replacing it because my brake light on the dashboard was still saying that the brake pads were worn. And these sensors, they go bad. So I'm gonna replace it this morning. Let me zoom this thing in a little bit so you guys can get a better look at exactly what we're doing here. Okay. Yeah, I gotta get me a cameraman. All right, bam, I think that's a better view. All right, this is the sensor right here, and I got some pliers. You can just grab your pliers and you can just wiggle this thing out. Now, there's a little grommet on the end of this thing, and you can't see it because it's dirty and dusty or whatnot, but that's what make contact with the pads. So I'm gonna remove it, and right here where this is where you bleed your brakes. So you have to remove this little clip off from around the bleeder valve. And then there's another little clip behind here that you have to unclip. Bam, and you got to remember the direction you're taking this thing off, because if you don't, when you put this wear sensor back on here, you're gonna have some serious issues if you don't install it back in the right order. So and it's a quite long, the cable is pretty long. See this? This is the length of the cable. Now I got a wear sensor for the front and the back. This is my new cable for the front and the cable for the back. And they're color coded so you can't mess it up. See, the cable for the front is yellow. The new cable is yellow. So yellow for the front and red for the back, all right? So there's a few other things that we have to remove before we can get to this, to it. So I'm gonna bring y'all in a little bit more so y'all guys can focus in right here. Now, see right here, I gotta remove this little grommet. And then behind here is where we will find the connection. Now there's a tool, there's a special tool to remove these little things. Of course I don't have one, but I will get one. So now, there's two flaps. This little flap, and then you gotta pull back on this big flap. Now underneath here, you will find where the end of the connector is. Let me move this camera around here so you guys can see this thing, right? Bam. See right here is where the connector is. So I'm gonna unhook it here, And then right here, I gotta unhook it again. Now I'm gonna pull it out of here, out of this little, it's also inside what is called a Christmas tree, one of those little clamps that hold it together. You gotta be careful with it. Let me use my I hate this little thing. And it's in such a tight position here. And they do it that way to deter you from doing it yourself. So the dealerships, when they design, God damn it, man. All right. There we go. Ah, shit, I just had it. All right, got it. It was a tough little booger. All right, so now you can probably see it now. Right, this is the end of it. Let me tilt the camera down a little bit. Okay, so this is the end of it right here. Bam, you can see it right here. So you just gotta depress down on this little pin and it'll come right out. Bam. And there it is. Whoop, there it is. The sensor, right? So let's get the new one and put it on there. Now what I'm gonna do to the end of the connector end, I got some of this wire dryer. This stuff right here is great, man. It'll soften the plastic around that and it'll allow it to go in real easy. And then if there's any water or anything on that connector, it'll dry that up. So there went the old one, and here's the new one. $18, guys. Man, look, almost paid. I could have paid $200 and some for this thing on at the dealership, and that's basically it.